Greetings, salutations to Safe to Serve International and first-time viewers. Welcome to this midday power surge. I'm your host, Andrew Henriquez. Now today is one more day God has given to us to serve Him with all of our hearts, mind, and soul. And today we want to make use of time that God has given to us. And as I mentioned time, I want to bring your attention to events that are fulfilling end time Bible prophecies. And there is a counterfeit movement on foot. And today I'm going to be addressing the social media outage and what God is saying to us. Whether it is accidental or intentional, it doesn't matter. Satan never let a good crisis go to waste. So whether it's accidental or intentional, God is still speaking. Nothing happens by happenstance in this world. And secondly, I'm going to be addressing this so-called slogan, mantra, theme, build back better. It is connected to 666, secret societies, the Jesuits, the globalists, the tyrants, yes, WEF, the Pope of Rome, and how these things would negatively impact God's people. And it's time for us to be practically prepared, yes, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, and socially. In John chapter 14 and verse 29, Jesus says, I tell you these things before they come to pass, that when they come to pass, you might believe. The devil has a counterfeit. And when these tyrants speak, believe what they're saying. In this sense, they mean what they say. Klaus Schwab.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison.
So do not misinterpret my former statement. They mean what they promote. They mean what they say. A coming cyber attack, power outage, no connection with social media. Look what happened today. This morning, it's breaking news all over social media, all over the media, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, down, power outage. And you must understand what's happening here. And I'm going to make a particular statement. Things are fluid. There's not much I can say right now. The reports are still coming out. What has caused this? It could be something simple, or it could be a cyber attack. Here's my point. This can be viewed as a blessing. Here's why I say that. Do you realize that Satan is using social media to preoccupy people's minds, and as a result, they aren't focused on that which is important? Not only on Facebook, not only on Instagram, but even now on TikTok. That's their focus. And as a result, the devil has them dancing, swinging, and sinning, focusing on Hollywood, focusing on the world, the things of the world, on secular things, temporal things that have nothing to do with preparation for these last days. Not only those who are called worldlings, but what about many of us, those in our community, SDA, our children, so engrossed with the things on social media, they have no space left in their mind, no time to focus on signs being fulfilled and the work of preparation. None of it. And that's why Luke 17 says, in verse 28 through verse 32, just before the second coming of Christ, things will be similar as it was in the days of Noah and Lot. They were eating and drinking. What do people focus on? On social media. When they go dining, click, click, pictures of food and menu and all that kind of stuff, what they're eating and drinking, the bars, the taverns, what new drink is trending, eating and drinking, planting and building, oh, my new home. Yes, we're on an Airbnb, vacation, planting and building. Stocks, money, how much money I'm spending, planting and building, marrying, giving into marriage, vacation pictures, this picture, birthday, anniversary, wedding, all of it. Now, some of those things are okay as you're sharing testimonies. Don't be extreme, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me continue. Yes, planting, building, marrying, giving in marriage until the flood came, swept away, fire and brimstone destroyed. That's my point. So is this outage a blessing? In this sense, yes. Luke 21, verse 34, lest your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, drunkenness, and cares of this life, so that they take you unaware. A sneer, it will come upon all. And it's Satan's plan to get people busy here and busy there. Do you remember this? This was last week.
Good morning, Dave. Yeah, if you are waking up without cell phone signal, you are by far not the only person. When I woke up this morning, I woke up to see the little SOS signal.
That was last week. So we see what could have been, what should have been, but God held back the winds of strife. Because everything, I would say, let's not use a hyperbole, 99% of the people, they're all connected to the digital sphere. That's where everything is trending. When they shut this thing down, what happens? What happens? And then they roll out their draconian policies. To get access, you have to bow. To get access, give up your rights. What will many people do? And because they have been addicted to social media, addicted to the internet, many of them will bow. Of course, we're not trying to be extreme, because the internet can be used as a blessing. How am I communicating with you right now? How are you watching this? Internet. You see my point? All right. So we're not trying to be extreme here, but the point is clear what time we're living in. Do you remember this?
The most striking finding that we found is that 93% of cyber leaders and 86% of cyber business leaders believe that the geopolitical instability makes a catastrophic cyber event likely in the next 2 years.
It's coming. And they're priming the pump, just as we saw in the movie Leave the World Behind.
We are seeing ongoing cyber attacks across the country.
And do you remember in that movie, cell phones weren't working? That little girl in the movie Leave the World Behind, she wanted to get onto the internet with the smart devices to watch her favorite movie, maybe to even watch TikTok. Who knows? TikTok, while the hours of probation are fast closing. Tick-tock, tick-tock. And what is the end result? Imagine the withdrawal symptoms when people now begin to riot. Why? They want their fix. Not heroin, not pills, but they want their fix. I wonder what fix I'm talking about. Yes, and many are going to say, we knew the crises were coming, but did not know they would come this soon. We want to be found prepared. Christians should be preparing for what is soon to break upon this world as an overwhelming surprise. So what do we need? Rapid movements to implement the 5 keys of survival. Right here, I digress. Let's talk about Build Back Better. 666, its connection with secret societies. Watch this. There it is, friends. And if you notice, Biden mentioned Build Back Better in the context of 6 minutes, 6 days, 6 weeks. And if you notice, B's sometimes can look like 6 based on the font style that you use on the computer. Hope you caught that. There it is. Build Back Better. That's it, friends. 6 minutes, 6 days, 6 weeks. I'll give it to you. Watch.
You're going to ask me 1,000 different questions, and they're all legit. I'm telling you, we're going to get this done. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter whether it's in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. We're going to get it done. Why is it in 6?
Now, the reason why this is important is because of this. Build Back Better. Whose agenda is Build Back Better? It is the Pope of Rome. We don't make things up here. It's right there. Build Back Better. And notice, it's connected to the climate crisis. When I go to John Kerry, it's going to make more sense. Build Back Better. There it is, friends. And Pope calls it not only Build Back Better, but Build Back Holy. And if you notice, in Revelation 13, do we find 6, 6, 6? Are these code words? Why 6 minutes, 6 days, 6 weeks? Who speaks like that? Who speaks like that? Not even a natural phrase that you would say. Think about it. Code, secret societies. You remember John Kerry? The President Climate Czar, envoy, ambassador of the U.S. to the UN, Skull and Bones. Do you remember this one here? Bush, George W. Bush, Skull and Bones, secret society.
We're both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
on.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322.
First of all, he's not the nominee, and look, I look
Are
forward.
you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job.
So on the left and on the right. So who are you voting for? Think about it. These men are selected, not elected. This is George W. Bush. Where does he hail from? Texas, right? And he claims to be a part of the evangelicals, right? And yet, when he was asked, what do you see when you look in the eyes of the Pope? I see God. It makes no sense. Now, that could be a simple response. But when the popes of Rome claim to be God on the earth, it doesn't seem as if it's a coincidence. Watch.
Mr. President, final question.
Yes, sir.
You said famously, when you looked into Vladimir Putin's eyes, you saw his soul.
Yeah.
When you look into Benedict XVI's eyes, what do you see?
God.
Good way to end the interview.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Secret handshake from evangelical making that statement. Now take a look at this. Here's John Kerry also promoting popery. It's all connected.
You're on a very important mission here to Europe. Can you tell us why is it important to include a visit with the Pope during your visit to Europe to talk about climate change?
Well, the Pope is one of the great voices of reason and compelling moral authority on the subject of the climate crisis.
All right.
He's been ahead
Enough
of the curve.
that. Friends, at this point, I'm going to digress and move on to the next segment. In this segment, I'm going to drive home the point. The tyrants mean what they promote. And if we're seeing come to pass what they have promoted, don't doubt what they also have promoted and are yet to come to pass. In this segment also, I'm going to build on the same theme, build back better, and how this will affect God's people negatively. Okay. In the scriptures, the agenda is all about freedom versus slavery. There it is. Freedom versus slavery. This is what it's all about. and it's Satan's plan through his human agents to enslave the masses, Isaiah 14, verse 12 through 17. And that is rivaling the ministry of Jesus in John chapter 8, verse 36 and verse 32. Here are the tyrant's words. Welcome to 2030. You own nothing. You'll be happy, which means they will own everything. So what have the tyrants said? And what have they publicly promoted? This is Klaus Schwab about building. Build back better. Watch this.
Let's also be clear. The future is not just happening. The future is built by us.
Right? So now, later on, don't forget this, because later on you're going to see the Build Back Better is actually the Great Reset. The Build Back Better, the Great Reset, is actually enslaving the masses. That's what it is. Now, let's see what else they have promoted. Let me skip through. Watch this. It says, welcome to 2030, that year. You don't own nothing. You don't own anything. You don't own a car. Don't forget that. Watch this now.
The alternative has never really existed before, but in the future, it will be car subscriptions. Cars.
All right. And by 2025, what will happen?
When I asked McKinsey just how big this is going to be, their projection is that by 2025, between 6 and 11 million cars just in America are going to be subscription only.
Car subscription only. And by 2030, you will not own a vehicle.
That ride hailing is just becoming more and more ubiquitous. You put those trends together, I don't know why anyone owns a car in 2030.
Okay. This is the Build Back Better program to enslave the masses. Why did I reiterate that? Because it's not the first you have seen me play that. Look at the breaking news. Buckle your seatbelts. March 3rd, 2024 Yahoo News. Government rolls out program allowing low-income drivers to lease electric vehicles for as little as $43 a month. And what is the lease program called? Social leasing program. Okay, can someone give me a synonymous term for that? Social leasing program. Producers, what will you call that? Socialism. Thank you so much. Let's continue here. Let's see this sweetness that will destroy the people's freedoms. It says you can lease for as little as $43 monthly, in some cases for 6 months. The initiative comes with no down payment. Sounds good. As well as free charging. Sounds good. To qualify for the social leasing program, the people must have an annual income of less than $16,000. It sounds good. The leasing contract even covers insurance costs, and cancellation fees. Do you see the point? This is slavery. This is government pauperism. Stay right there. In the Bible, do you remember we were told the 9 most terrifying words in the English language? Here they are.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah. And notice, this is the government leasing vehicles to the residents. So who will own everything? Not private companies. It's still bad if they are the ones, but that's natural, right? But now it's the government. What is the government doing in business with the residents? So what happens if you can't pay back the government? What happens? Pauperism? You mean slavery? Put you in jail? Look at this right here. Chapter 47 of Genesis, verse 16 through verse 19. When money failed, people had not much to give. They sold their bodies in order to survive, to have access to various things. And when the government is now the leaseor and the people are the leasee, Here comes the colloquial saying, you will never bite the hand that feeds you. Have you heard of that colloquial idiom? And this is priming the pump, setting the stage for the fulfillment of Matthew chapter 4, verse 8 through verse 10. When Satan said to Christ, look at the kingdoms, the glory of them, my words, the cars, the EVs, the home, the clothes, the appliances, all these things will I give unto you if you fall down and worship me. And secondly, Revelation 13, verse 15 through verse 17. You won't be able to buy or sell except you receive the mark of the beast. And who will enforce the mark of the beast? It's the government. And behind the government is the apostate church. Slavery. In the chat, we have Carlene writing, subscription equals they can shut you off at will. I agree. Robbie in the chat writes, it's a trap. Camille in the chat writes, the government is here to help run, not run to them, run away from them. Marsha writes, the borrower is slave to the lender. Marsha, it's Proverbs 22 and verse 7. Proverbs 22 and verse 7. This is government slavery. That's what it is, friends. Now, do you remember I spoke about Build Back Better? This is a montage of video clips. Buckle your seatbelts for this. Watch. Hold on. So how do we assist those who are less fortunate? Remember, there are 5 keys. And key number 5, assist those who are less fortunate. And Galatians chapter 6 and verse 10 says, and we have therefore, as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. Assist others, especially those who are of the household of faith, that our brothers and sisters will not become government paupers. Back to my montage.
It's a very pertinent question to ask, how do we build back better?
Stop right there. Stop right there, friends. I must say something here. In 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19, Jesus says, for we have a more sure word of prophecy. A what? A more sure word of prophecy. Chapter 47 of Genesis, government pauperism. We're seeing it now. Do we have a more sure word of prophecy? Does God mean what he says? Yes. What about the tyrants? Satan's human agents, do they mean what they say? Look at the juxtaposition. Now the table is set. Let's feast. Here it is. Build back better.
It's a very pertinent question to ask, how do we build back better?
To build back better or whatever.
We have a chance to reset the clock and build back better than before.
To build back better than before.
Remember the terrible damage of COVID as we try to build back from this global pandemic.
Joe Biden calls it Build Back Better.
Build back better.
Building back better.
To do things differently. To build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
And build it back better.
It's my plan to build back better.
You mean all these people saying the very same thing? It's a script. As if they are psychologically deluded. As if they're hypnotized. They're reading from a script. And whose agenda is build back better? All right, friends. Here it is.
It's about building this country back better.
Growing conspiracy following it. It is called the Great Reset.
An unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reset the ways in which we live.
The great opportunity for reset.
The theory.
So who is promoting Build Back Better here? Several people. Let me highlight one. That was the IMF director that just spoke. Hear what she says. Build Back Better entails the CBDC. Watch this.
My second point is that if we are to be successful,
CBDCs could not be fragmented national propositions.
It must be global.
To have transactions more efficient and fairer, we need systems that connect countries. In other words, we need interoperability. And for this reason, at the IMF, we are working hard on the concept of a global CBDC platform.
Enough. So Build Back Better is globalism. Build Back Better is totalitarianism. Build Back Better is socialism. Build Back Better is communism. Build Back Better is slavery. Simply put. Can we simplify these terms for people? And look at the screen right there. The IMF director is in solidarity, having a working synergy with the Pope of Rome. That's how we connect the links. And the Pope says it's time to build back better post the pandemic. Build back better, a new economic order, a new world order. Look at your screen. This is from the Pope's exhortation on top. And the second paragraph is his statement on X. Build back better. On top, build back better. It's his agenda. Continue. Build back better.
Opportunity for reset.
Yes.
The theory even calls Mr. Biden's campaign slogan, Build Back Better, a front for the conspiracy.
Build back better.
Building back better our economy.
Build back better.
All elements of the Great Reset are fundamental to building the future we need.
Mercy. And you just saw the Queen's and the King's son. Is he not a social media influencer? Even though his brother is over there in Britain, and I believe he's over here in the States, you could see the different demographic of people promoting the Pope's agenda. Build back better. It's a propaganda machine. Stop it right here. So we just saw the UN secretary. What is he promoting for Build Back Better? Agenda 2030. Can we simplify these things for people who are seeing these things for the first time? That's what we are doing. And goal number one, agenda item number one is a digital ID, CBDC, a digital-only society. That's slavery. Build Back Better. Oh, Catherine Fitz.
I think it's very hard for people who've grown up and enjoyed Western liberty and human liberty to imagine literally that we're going into a system where literally our homes, our cars, our communities become digital concentration camps.
Build Back Better, slavery.
And the reality, as the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate.
Build Back Better, just as in Luke 21, verse 20 through verse 21, we have a more sure word of prophecy. We are going to be surrounded, a digital-only society. All right? Build Back Better, their mantra.
Future we need.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset.
It's a big effort to, some would say, to build back better. We would say to really have a great reset.
Conspiracy, conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy. Friends, so Klaus Schwab just told you, Build Back Better is the Great Reset. That's what he just said. Notice my point here, friend. Please do not miss it. Do you know, while we speak about all these agenda items that will enslave the population, there's none greater than this. When they rape your bodies digitally. What do I mean by that? Brain chips to read your thoughts? That is physical, mental rape. Build Back Better is slavery. Build Back Better is raping your mind.
But can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants, I can...
Yeah, and remember, these tyrants mean what they say. Have they said some things before? Have they come to pass? Are they coming to pass? Don't doubt this one.
And we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers. Is it imaginable?
Yes, it is. Hear what he says.
You have the chance to look forward to a career of 50 years. And my own opinion, maybe more. You will get some injections and some and so on. And and then don't forget your avatar will continue to live. So and your brain will be replicated through artificial intelligence and algorithm. So we don't know, but at least 50 years.
I'll come back to this clip. Why would you need injections? Contextually, based on what just happened and what is happening. Are they manufacturing these pestilences? I'll come back to that. Hear what he says.
And we are just now where we move into the exponential phase. And I agree, artificial intelligence, but not only artificial intelligence, but also the metaverse, new space technologies, and I could go on and on, synthetic biology. Our life in 10 years from now will be completely different, very much affected, and who masters those technologies in some way will be the master of the world.
The master of civil, which means master of the world. That's what he says, friends. And you know where this man stands and what he's up to.
Professor
You know
Klaus.
what? Hold on. I want to move right into how they're going to be successful.
Your Royal Highness.
Are they going to use the media to build back better? Are they?
Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, distinguished heads of state and government, the future is built by us.
All right.
By a powerful community as you here in this room.
It's built by us. Will they use the media to accomplish the build back better? Friends, buckle your seatbelt tighter. Watch this.
There are those who believe the American media moves in lockstep with some kind of agenda. I can only say that if we were that organized, then maybe at our next meeting we could put together a code of conduct for fixing this crisis. But there are no meetings. There are no meetings. There are no meetings.
Very important, the media leaders. I think every fifth participant is a media leader.
Presidency of.
So that news anchor just said, there are no meetings. There's no conspiracy. Go back to sleep. Go back and watch TikTok, right? If you can't go on Instagram, that's okay. Go find YouTube and watch YouTube shorts. Just go back to sleep. There are no meetings. But Klaus Schwab just said, we have in our pockets, we control the media leaders. Clip 2. How powerful is the WEF? Build back better? Watch this.
Of Thomson Reuters,
Chairman and Chief Executive of News Corporation,
Associate Editor of the Washington Post,
Senior Vice President at CNN.
The World Economic Forum has been instrumental in this, in actually bringing together representatives of whether it's Google or Facebook, Twitter and others, and members of the International Media Council here at the World Economic Forum. That's why it's been such a strong convening power.
Mercy. Do you see why they have clout and influence and power? Because they control the media. Social media giants and the legacy media. And that's why they despise vehemently alternative media platforms. It goes on to say, we print what we are told to print. That's what the man said. Watch this. Next montage.
Power.
Deputy Managing Editor of the New York Times,
Business Editor of The Economist,
Executive Chairman of Bloomberg,
the Editor-in-Chief of The Wall Street Journal.
We love to blame the media because they make this happen, they make that happen, and you guys forget, we don't print the truth, we print what people tell us.
Mercy. What? We don't print truth. We simply print what we are told. Who is telling you something? So whose agenda are you promoting? That's the question. So the media is actually the arm of the state, the arm of the globalists, the arm of the slave masters, the arm of the tyrants, the arm of the Jesuits. That's what it is. This is Adrian Monk of the WEF. He's a managing director. Hear what he says. So wait a minute. You want truth? You cannot go to legacy media to find truth. You can't. No, don't be extreme, all right? If a building, burns and the media says, look over here, of course, 99.99%, it's burning down. When it comes on to details and connecting the dots to identify the conspirators and the conspiracy, you're not going to get that from legacy media. Nope. Praise God for Safe to Serve and Prophesy Again TV platform. That's why I would appreciate that you share this. Come on, Adrian Monk, speak for yourself.
Economics editor of The Guardian newspaper in London.
The world editor at BuzzFeed News.
Editor of the Financial Times.
Director of news for the BBC.
To some people watching this, they're going to be saying, well, hang on a second. You guys, you're experts, you're institutional, you're mainstream media, you've got an agenda, you're part of these institutions that I didn't vote for.
So, in other words, go back and watch social media. Oh, I'm sorry. Facebook is down. Instagram is down. Just subscribe and go to TikTok. Nothing to see here. Exactly what he's saying. The same Adrian Monk who actually said, look at it right there, friends. He says, the slogan, welcome to 2030. You own nothing and you'll be happy is misinformation. Misinformation? Adrian Monk, you are the managing director of the WEF. On whose website was it posted? Welcome to 2030 on your website. And since the protest, you scrubbed it, you whitewashed it, you bleached it from your website. All right, let's continue. Back to the montage. Build Back Better, right? The media of the beast.
Didn't vote for.
Editor-in-Chief of Foreign Policy Magazine.
Editor-in-Chief of Wired Magazine.
Editor-in-Chief of...
Friends, in this clip, another news anchor, Time Magazine owner, the owner of Time Magazine said, we are on the board of the WEF. We are here to make money. We are here to manipulate people to get our own way. What? Pastor, did he really say that?
Didn't vote for.
Editor-in-Chief of Foreign Policy Magazine.
Editor-in-Chief of Wired Magazine.
Editor-in-Chief of National Geographic Magazine.
We're on the board of the World Economic Forum together. We're trustees of the World Economic Forum. We're not here just to make money. We're not just here to manipulate other people or to get our way. We're here to improve the world and to love each other.
Mercy. We are not just here to make money. Not only to make money, but we'll make some money. Not just here to manipulate people to get our own way. Not just that, but we'll get that along the way. What? How is it they can be so bold? Now, brother, give me back that, please, Mr. Producer. How can they be that bold to make that statement without any thought of repercussion, protest, backlash? Do you know why? The people are fixated on social media and the foolishness. They're drunk with the cares of this world. However, we have to try and awaken them. In the chat, Hillary writes, Build Back Better is actually Build Beasts Babel. Build Back Babylon. That's what it is. Build Back Babylon. Build Back Tower of Babel. BBB. Digital slavery, control, force, and surveillance. I concur. Patricia writes, it's the manipulation of the beast, MOB. Continue. Back to Build Back Better, Media of the Beast.
At NHK Public Television.
Head of the Research and Studies Unit at Arab News. Senior Editor at Euronews.
Editor-in-Chief of the Straits Times.
What can the media do better in order to create understanding and support
for your agenda.
But there are no meetings.
Klaus Schwab is telling you it's the media that we're using to build back better slavery, communism, socialism, tyranny. And the anchor is saying, by the way, there are no meetings. Here he is again.
There are those who believe the American media moves in lockstep with some kind of agenda. I can only say that if we were that organized, then maybe at our next meeting we could put together a code of conduct for fixing this crisis. But there are no meetings. There are no meetings. There are no meetings.
Are there meetings? Secret meetings. How secret are these meetings? And where are some of the secret meetings held? Davos, Switzerland. Here it is.
Founded in 1971, the World Economic Forum is an international private organization which receives billions of tax-free dollars from its members and their global enterprises. Every year, the WEF brings together its members with world leaders, big pharma executives, tech titans, Hollywood celebrities, media personalities, and internet influencers to meet in the secluded mountains of Davos, Switzerland.
Are they having meetings there? Watch this.
It turns out there are two Davoses.
How many? There are two Davoses. What does that mean?
It turns out there are two Davoses, one you see and one you don't. After hours, there are hundreds of private parties where deals are done. People who can't be seen together in public can meet here.
Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, distinguished heads of state and government, the future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room.
Do you see it now, friends? It's clear. At this point, I want to wrap this up and close on this point. It's very simple. How can they be so bold and so audacious? Because the majority of the people are distracted with secular nonsense. Social media on one side, on the other side, they're eating things and they're drunk. They're drinking things and they're drunk. Mentally, they're stupefied. See my point now? They're smoking things and they're drunk. Yes, they're popping pills and their minds aren't focused. They cannot reason rationally. And that's why the tyrants can make these statements publicly. And the people don't realize that they're heading to slavery. Build back better? Build back better? The agenda of popery. Build back better? They're on the same bandwagon. Build back better? Overthrow your rights. Slavery. Build back better? You own nothing. That's the Pope's agenda. You own nothing. No right to private property. Build back better? This is from LifeSite news site. They're telling us the Pope is building a one world government. It's actually the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel, friends. It's right there. The Tower of Babel. Build back better. Remember, Babel fell, right? Babel fell. And Babel means Babylon. And who is Babylon of the last days? Based on Revelation chapter 14, chapter 17, and chapter 18. It is popery. Babylon fell. Babylon is wounded. But now Babylon must be reinstated. The deadly wound must be healed. Some people don't know what I just said. But once they catch the first part, now they may send me an email, Pastor, what did you mean by the deadly wound of Babylon will be healed? And then I can prayerfully explain. Let us awaken people. When Babylon was erected, it was a one world government. Everybody in one place. Everybody in one place. Bowing to the slave master. To combat calamity, combat climate change, everybody in one place. They had one system of language, one system of communication. Does that sound like a digital-only society? Yes. one system of communication. What did God do? Distorted their speech, their language, their communication, and God scattered the people upon the face of the earth to stop the building of Babylon. Christ is about to come. Am I ready? Are you ready? The 5 keys of survival. And that second key is country living. Scatter, no 15-minute cities. Scatter, no car-free cities. Scatter, no leasing of EV vehicles. Scatter, don't be a government pauper. Scatter, and make sure you're converted. By God's grace, I'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern for Midday Power Surge. And again, share this video so others can be enlightened. And we are streaming on other platforms. The links are in the description box. The Lord is soon to come. And remember, the protest continues.